everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online, the SLOTRO edition. This is Gnarlrynae here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlrynae. Good girl. When last we left off, we were at the treasure hunters camp here in south of the city of Fornost, or south of Fornost itself. Right in this area over here, right up here is the actual instance, the actual, I guess you can say, semi-raid area, fellowship area of Fornost. There's a number of, not raids, but very much fellowship quests that take you into Fornost there. We're right down here at this edge, and we've got a couple of quests we're going to do. Defeat rockworms. So, I mean, there's a lot of quests that we can still pick up in this camp, but they're all for fellowships. So we're going to look at the ones like defeat the rockworms, which should be around this area. Possibly might have to go into Fornost itself. And on top of that, there's one for killing the Blogmaw Defiler. We got another one of those. Another one of the Orc Defilers that we have to take out. But first, I'm going to come up this way because I'm wanting to say there was a... See, that's something, another quest that I think has gone missing. Because I remember going into Fornost, you know, I've been into Fornost a few times, just right into the earliest area. And there was a quest to go in because... I hope they haven't gotten rid of it. It was a quest to go in and find Hobbit arrowheads. Because if you remember, there's in the Lord of the Rings, they talk about, I believe, is it in the introduction? I think it's in the introduction. I should have had my pet up. Where they discuss where they talk about how the hobbits have a tradition. He hit us with a net, didn't he? The hobbits have a tradition. They have a story they tell of the fact that whenever the great battle happened at Fornost, that the hobbits sent a company of archers, sent a group of archers up there to help with the defense of Fornost, to help the king with the defense of Fornost. And one of the tasks, one of the quests that you were tasked with here was to go into Fornost and see if you can find any evidence that story is true, any evidence that there are might have been hobbits here. And I believe you find tiny, like childlike skeletons with arrowheads nearby, if I remember correctly. And I wonder why we haven't seen that quest. I'm wondering, is it one that comes up later? See, here's the instance. Let's see, Fornost. Siege on Gondomans. So, float to Erebor. Oh, there we go. Wrath of Water, Wrath of Shadow, Wrath of Fire, Wrath of Earth. Let's go ahead and take this instance. We're going to do that just to be able to get into the instance itself and see what's in there. Fornost, the last capital of the fallen North Kingdom. It is here that the Witch King of Angmar crushed the realm of Angmar, and it is here in which Angmar has returned to conquer Eriador. So as you see, Tier 1 Fellowship, level 29. If I were to be actually able to do it, I get 155 marks. As I said, we just want to go
Fornost,
right.
The last capital of the fallen North Kingdom. It is here that the Witch King of Angmar crushed the realm of Arnor, and it is here to which Angmar has returned to conquer Eriador.
I just want to go right inside here. I'm wondering if maybe now it's perhaps it's a landscape quest. Maybe that's how you get the quest for the arrowheads and all now. Do we come across a thing of arrowheads or something like that and then decide that that's what we need to find? Oops. You're a level 29 warlord, are you? So see, we could do that fellowship quest as well. The one that says go in and while you're doing it, take out take out orcs and goblins. But see, that's part of it, is these things are packed in tight. They are packed in very, very tight. What did we have here? Fornost, I've forgotten. Collect arrowheads. I don't remember picking that up from anywhere. Did someone mention that? Repeatable quest. Well, there you go. You might find hobbit arrowheads among the skeletons within Fornost, north of the Fornost camp. The Tooks in the camp at Fornost are desperately looking for proof that hobbits fought in the Battle of Fornost. They have been ridiculed for their beliefs, so they've come to find the proof they so desperately need. I don't remember seeing any Tooks in that camp. Absolutely do not remember. And we have to defeat Dreadmist as well. So yeah, there's nothing in here that we're going to be able to do in this instance. So we will just leave on out of there. So let's see if it said, in Fornost, the rockworms. I'm thinking rockworms means rockworm. When it says Fornost, I'm thinking it means out here. Let's turn our lantern on. Let's look for rockworms, and we're going to go see if we can find that defiler. It said the defiler was to the east of the treasure hunter camp, or we should say tomb. I'm not going to say raider. Let's say looter. Looters and thieves. Since we're working on trying to call things, as they say, there's a thing going around talking about put the word slavery and slavers into modern day equivalent so that people can understand what we're talking about. And they say, slavers are kidnappers, terrorists, and murderers and rapists. Let's call these treasure hunters, or let's call them what they are, thieves and desecrators of graves and burial sites. Call them what they are. Now we are going to be looking for a Blogmaw defiler. Let's keep looking, see if we can find one. We also want to see the rockworms. You see, I'm trying to get better at actually getting these things. If I come by the ancient field bear, are you going to... Yep, you are going to attack me. Okay, so the bears are aggressive. Let's remember that. Lightning, and hit them with a little light of the rising dawn. There. Bears are aggressive. I know that the orcs will be aggressive. Let's see. Defiler. Blogmaw defiler. I'm thinking he's going to be deeper in over here. Alright. What was I talking about? But are you aggressive? Are the Aurochs aggressive? No, y'all are just pissed off. So if I stayed up against them too long, they would get pissed off and attack me. But they're not going to do it of their own accord. They just want me to keep on moving, thank you. Don't get in our way. And we will. Whoa. What the hell? Is that one of those nemesis? Yep, that's a nemesis. Level 100. Durlam, rare arch nemesis, a member of the dead, with his 1,135,000 hit points. Yeah, let's see if we can avoid him. Now let's see if we can get into the camp this way. All right, Blogmaw. Look, I'm trying not to get in your way. Why don't you just stay out of my way, okay? Sapper, pillagers, raiders, guards. This is where I would love to be able to be a... a burglar. And go invis, go into sneak mode, and sneak around this camp until I found what I was looking for. warlord. Another warlord. Not seeing a defiler, though. Makes me think that perhaps we've gone too far. Said it's in the encampment to the east, but maybe they don't mean this far east. Yeah, I don't see any defilers in there. Okay. Tell you what we will do. Since we're already using that thing, let's see. Send the source. Let's go here. Map. Oh, we don't have. Okay, we're still playing the old-fashioned way here, are we? Didn't realize we were still playing with the thing turned off. We don't have quest guide turned on this one. Totally forgotten about that. Well, good. We'll do this the old-fashioned way where they actually give you some instructions that will allow you to complete the quest. Okay. Let's see if we can find any in any of these other camps. This isn't the only encampment of Blogmaw by any means. I'm hoping everyone's been having a good time. Have any of y'all been to the wedding? Y'all been going and seeing Aragorn get married? King Elisar. I have not yet made it up that way. Explained last time how it's a case of I'm having a hard enough time just getting these episodes here put up. And I had to spend about an hour this morning rebuilding my hot end. Not as sexy as it sounds. It's a case where the hot end is the part of the printer that you might be able to tell from the title gets hot. It's the part that moves around and has the nozzle and sits and squirts the liquid plastic, the molten plastic, down onto the glass bed and the model that you're building. And it has an unfortunate tendency of it will get hot and clog up. If the tube, there's a PTF tube in there that carries the molten plastic, or once it becomes molten, it actually carries the regular plastic, but carries it from, carries the raw plastic, the cold plastic, carries it from the spool down through the extruder, and then carries it to the hot end. And then the hot end is the part, the heater that gets hot, and the nozzle that heats up the nozzle, and the nozzle is what lays down the various layers of plastic onto the model that you're producing. Well, if that plastic tube is not right jammed exactly up against the nozzle, it can cause a leak. There can be a gap, and into that gap, plastic can leak. And then the plastic chars and doesn't melt anymore and starts causing partial clogs and then full clogs. And then you just get horrible things going on. You get prints that fail and all that sort of thing. And that's what's been happening. I've had several failed prints later. I'm trying to print a model of the Jupiter 2. If y'all remember from Lost in Space, I'm trying to print a model of the Jupiter 2. And it has been a bit of a bother. I can get the first, just the part that I'm doing, it's in several large parts, and just the part that I'm printing out, the main deck of it, is a 11.5-hour print. And it's getting about 2 hours into it and then clogging. And that has been a pain in the butt. Alright, these are Ongbers, so it is definitely the ones inside. So we had to get back into the block mall. It's been a pain in the butt, so I did something called Luke's Hot Fix, where you print out a plastic washer and you cut a piece of the tube to fit down in there, and you shove that tube down into the hot end, just the cut off piece of tube, and then you put a washer on top of it, and then you tighten the clamp down onto that cut off piece, and it keeps it from working loose and backing off and causing the leakage. That is the theory behind it anyway. So we'll see whether or not it works. I've got a print going on. Y'all remember I'm printing the Znutar. And the Znutar, currently printing a test print of a floor tile for the Znutar. I made myself into one of the decks of the one of the vehicle bays, one that has the flying saucer, and that's the why I wanted the Jupiter 2 in there. So I'm working on getting that printed. So we'll see how it does. It's got about an hour left to go on it, and we'll see how the print comes out. Now, I think I'm going to break down. We're going to pull up options. I'm going to go to there. We're going to pull up the quest tracker. I've done this particular one twice before. Let's enable the quest guide. Accept it. And I want to go to seeking the source. I want to set it as the quest guide focus. Where is it at on the map? It's way over there. Okay, let's see if we can get there. Follow that little arrow on our map. Mini map up there. And we'll use it to see if we can find those rockworms too. I'd rather not fight every single little animal I come across. Let's light them up. There. But so there you go. Also, I worked on the COVID floor last night. That was the first time I'd worked there in several months. I'd worked there back in end of March, beginning of April. I had worked a couple of shifts on the floor. So, yeah, that was fun. All right, so even we obviously didn't travel far enough up here, did we? Oh, what the hey? All right, come on up. But fortunately, there's people who actually want to work there, volunteers, and enough folks that, you know, we take turns kind of working our way through it. And because of that, you don't have to be on there that often. Let's flash that one. And then let's take on this one. But yeah, last night was another night. And it's not even the hazard so much of being there that bothers me. I mean, of course, there is that whole point to it, but the biggest thing that gets to you is the just how sick these people are. They are extremely sick. We had 2 deaths on that floor that night. It's why we get so frustrated in healthcare when you hear people going, the folks that go, oh, it's a hoax, it's no worse than the flu. It is, okay? It's horrible. If you haven't seen these people die. You haven't seen these people that get really, really sick and seen them die. You wouldn't do the whole bullshit of, oh, it's no worse than the flu. It's all this, you know. It's terrible. I said we had 2 people die, and we didn't have the bad night. The bad night was the previous weekend when over the 2 days they had 7 people die in about a 16-hour period. Wasn't good. So, but, you know, even though I'm actually working with COVID patients, or actual known COVID patients, it's a case where I actually feel a little safer, because on the COVID floor they give you the real protective equipment. You get the, looks like the defiler's probably further up that way. Let's see what these are. Something kind of parts? What kind of parts are these? Alright, take on the pillager, huh? You know, it's a case of, since you are working with actual COVID patients, you actually get the correct mask, and you get the you know, get to double glove and use the gowns without people going, why are you wearing that? So you actually feel a little bit safer working with the actual patients than you do the 1 siege weapon parts. Starts quest stopping the siege. Okay. The Blogmaw orcs are building siege equipment in their camp outside the once great city of Fornost. Whatever their purpose, it cannot be good. You should destroy the siege. Look at that. So we have to destroy 6 of these, huh? Okay. More siege weapon parts. It's a perfect example of... if I were a... hobbit, if I were a burglar, I could have just snuck right on by that guy just then. But I guess really they aren't that difficult, so let's quit making it hard. Let's see if we can destroy these parts. Partially constructed siege weapon. Partially constructed as in a pile of parts. I guess a pile of loose parts could technically be described as a partially constructed. In that case, you know, my hot end that I had to put together was partially constructed whenever I took it out of the package. Treasure cache. Ancient treasure. Come on. That has been lost, forgotten, or perhaps was stolen. Your level is too low. Okay. Let's move on up this way then. See if we can find that defiler and take out some more siege engines. I'll see the parts lying around. So once I define the defiler, wherever he is, I will just go back to working on those. Okay, good. Now, this guy's gonna break in just a second. I don't want to attack him while the other 2 are wandering around. mean throw down that area effect thing there either, but that's alright. Let's see if we can grab this one. Pull him to us. Alright, let's move on in. More siege weapon parts. Where is a defiler? Yeah, these are some, I guess these parts over here technically, I guess, will count as partially constructed, maybe? Now, we got a defiler. Y'all see a defiler anywhere? If y'all see a defiler, shout out, please. Seeing lots of raiders and crap. Yep, there's the defiler right back over there. So, let's stun him. Take this one on. Get this one out of the way. Oops, we got an ad coming in. Okay, very good. Not much of a much up this way, is it? Okay, and that's 6 of 6 siege parts, too. Now, the defiler. Let's see if we can root him to the spot with some cracked earth. Are you still fighting him? There you are now. And down he goes. We defeated the defiler as well. Let's get the heck out of here. And let's get back over to the treasure hunter camp, okay? I will see y'all when we arrive back over. There were so many things wandering around in that camp. I decided the easiest way was just to basically sacrifice Stinky. I just ran through the gates of the camp. Everything decided to attack. Stinky jumped in and started fighting. Went down, but she has been returned to our side. So there you are. Now, who do we need to go back to? Reynold Potts and Gareth Kopp. Here's Gareth Kopp. He's the one that had stopping the siege. So let's pull him up. Can we go to the... Did he actually give us a bestowal? I guess he did. Blogmile orcs are building siege equipment in their camp outside of the once great city of Fornost. Whatever their purpose, it cannot be good. You should destroy the siege equipment. Okay. So he did not actually give it to us. He's just the one we have to tell about it. Stopping the siege.
Hello there.
You have thwarted Angmar's plans, Gnarlrynae. It would take them much longer now to amass the siege weapons they need. For a time at least, Trestlebridge and Breland should be safe. So let's see. Shanks of the Auroch. Whoa, that's a nice upgrade. Shield token for the pocket. 294 block. 63 max morale. Don't want to give up the agility and the vitality though. Can't use the javelin. Can't use the one-handed club. How about we go with those pants? Those are some nice pants. Lose a little power and a little morale regen, but we can always eat for that. That's what we'll go with. Shanks of the Auroch. What do you have
something
now?
for me?
Alright, preemptive measures. Quest level 26. Defeat orcs in Fornost City and goblins in Fornost City. Lots of orcs and goblins in these parts, especially around the gates to the city. They tend to cut off our retreat whenever they tried to cut off our retreat when the treasure hunt wasn't going well, but we escaped. They came looking for us at night, but luckily we remained hidden. If you take off a head or two of those evil creatures, lots of folk here will thank you. It'll make this place a great deal safer. Sure, we'll take that. And we need to see Reynold Potts now. I want to say he is right up here. And I was wrong. Is he around this side? Yes, there he is. Hello, Reynold. You, on the other hand, did give me Seeking the Source, I believe. Such vile corruption, you'd think the poor beast had been poisoned. Unclean water and grass would be my guess. There's no doubt the work of some orc, and a smart one at that. I've heard of defilers and poisoners and the like amongst the orcs. Do you think the Blogmaw here have such a one in their midst? I believe they do, yes.
Can't you leave me to my misery?
I'm mighty relieved that you were able to do away with that defiler. If the blight he caused was getting to the animals, soon it would have gotten to us, too. I don't think there's a thing here I can actually use. A dagger, a spear. Oh, there's some shoes. Whoa, that's an upgrade. Some leggings and a cleaver. 465, that's going to double my armor. Wow. And triple the vitality boost. Yep, we know what we're going to take there. You don't have a new one for us, do you? Nope. All right. So there you go, folks. Next time, we will see if we can find the rockworms. And we'll also see if we can, if there's a possibility we might could defeat some orcs and goblins in these parts. I think there might be. So there you are. Thank y'all for coming along. I appreciate it. Next time, we'll think here about, are we going to go and see the wedding? Will we continue working in Fornost? And when is the Summerfest coming? I want to do some fishing. We will see y'all then. Thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.